Is one of the most important topics I ever teach. If you have lived through trauma or narcissistic abuse, you may notice that your body hasn't fully recovered, even long after the relationship ended. You may still feel tension, pain, tightness, exhaustion, digestive issues, or a constant sense of being on guard. Most people have no idea why this happens. Hi, my name is Michele, and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, please hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. And welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. And please hit the subscribe button so you also don't miss any of my future videos. I bring evidence-based information coupled with my own personal experiences to help you navigate the most important relationship in your life, which is the one with yourself. So let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about how trauma gets stored in the body, how it keeps your nervous system stuck in survival, and most importantly, how you can begin to release it safely and gently. When something overwhelming happens, your body reacts instantly. Your muscles tighten, your breath shortens, your heart races. This is your body trying to protect you. The problem is that when trauma isn't fully processed, which is extremely common in narcissistic abuse, the body doesn't reset. It stays partially locked in that protective state. Because trauma, the sort of panic mode of the body, is something hardwired into us to protect us when we were out in the wild and there were lions and tigers and bears. And we are meant to, process out of that because we're no longer, hopefully, around lions and tigers and bears. But we still react like that. Some of us who have been targeted by narcissists, and we have narcissistic abuse, which is stored in our body. And this is what I'm talking about today. So there is a thin, sensitive, connective tissue that surrounds every muscle, nerve, and organ in your body. It's what helps you move smoothly and supports your internal structure. This tissue reacts to physical stress, emotional stress, and psychological threat. When you are overwhelmed, it tightens. When you are constantly bracing for impact, it thickens. And when trauma isn't resolved, it can remain locked in that tense, guarded position. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. If you lived with someone unpredictable, explosive, or emotionally dangerous, your body adapted to survive. It stayed ready, alert, scanning. That constant tension becomes your baseline. I was raised by a narcissistic father. I do not blame him because I do understand now. But this really resonates with me. I was always tense. And I used to get stomach aches all the time. And I was also a very antsy girl. They used to say you've got ants in your pants because I couldn't sit still. And I get it now. I was very hypervigilant and I was always ready to go because in my house, it was walking on eggshells. You never knew what mood my father was coming into the room with. So that constant tension becomes your baseline. You don't even notice it because it feels normal. But internally, your system is running in the background, whispering, stay alert, something could happen at any moment. This long-term bracing is what leads to chronic physical symptoms like tension in your shoulders and jaws. I have to remind myself sometimes because I get very tense. Digestive issues. Some of us have struggled with IBS and variations of that. Migraines, stiffness and pain, shallow breathing, sleep problems, insomnia, or struggling to get back to sleep, constant fatigue. Your nervous system is stuck in hypervigilance. Your body believes the danger never ended, still waiting for the tiger or the lion or the bear to come into the room. When your body stays in survival mode for too long, other systems start to struggle. Your immune system can become confused or depleted. Your digestion slows down or becomes erratic. Your hormones shift to support stress instead of healing. This is why so many survivors experience, as I said earlier, IBS or gut issues, autoimmune symptoms, anxiety and panic, insomnia, sensitivity to noise or conflict, emotional exhaustion. You've probably heard of functional freeze. So many of us that have survived narcissistic abuse are in functional freeze, which means there's this sort of middle range of tension that's always there. We're not completely frozen and we're not completely relaxed. We are in this, imagine a swan floating across the lake, paddling furiously underneath the water. That's what functional freeze looks like. Your body is sending one message: I'm still in danger. Even though the people are gone, you still feel in danger. It's now a muscle memory. Even when intellectually you know you're safe, your biology hasn't caught up yet. This is where so many survivors get frustrated. They work on mindset, they talk about their trauma, they do the cognitive work, the talking therapies, but their body still reacts as if the narcissist is standing in the doorway. Even though Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's book is not specifically about narcissism, the title says it all. The body keeps the score. And Dr. Gabor Mate has written a similar one, The Body Says No. So it's all there. Because trauma lives in the nervous system. Your body learned patterns for survival, and those patterns don't disappear through logic. They don't disappear through talking. They shift through experience, through safety, through regulation, through gentle physical release. This is why somatic healing is so powerful. Somatic healing means that you really need to go into the body. You've probably heard people say or watch them demonstrate, like, hold a space for yourself. You might put your hand on your heart, your hand on your gut. That is really getting you to focus on going back into the body. Breathing intentionally is also somatic because it is intentional breathing. It's not just your autonomic nervous system breathing. It's, now I'm going to take a deep breath. Now I'm going to exhale. That is coming back into the body. It speaks the language of the body, which is sensation, breath, movement, and presence. There are several gentle ways to start unwinding these holding patterns. Number one, slow, deep belly breathing. I like to take a nice deep breath in for the count of 4 and exhale through the mouth for a count of 8. No matter how you do it, just make sure that you breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, and double the exhale from the inhale. So if it's 4, do 8. If it's 3, do 6, and so on. This breathing signals safety to the nervous system. Long exhalations tell the body it can let go. And I actually add a sigh to the end of it. So I'll go, really let it out. Number 2, gentle stretching or trauma-informed yoga. Not intense workouts, just slow, mindful movements that help the body soften. Now, number 3 is myofascial release. I'll explain that. This can be done with a trained practitioner or through simple techniques at home. It helps relax the places where your body is gripping or bracing. Number 4, humming or vocalizing, singing. This stimulates the vagus nerve, which is that long nerve from the base of the brain all the way down to the gut. And all of our major organs, imagine it's like a tree trunk, and all the branches are our major organs: lungs, intestines, spleen, pancreas, things like that. So when you hum, whenever you have any vibration in this part of your body, it begins to stimulate the vagus nerve, and it goes into a rest and digest state instead of fight and flight. So this calms the entire system. Number 5, placing your hand on your heart and one on your abdomen. This grounding technique reconnects you to your body and creates internal reassurance. Each of these communicates one essential message to your system: the danger has passed. You are safe now. You're holding that space for it. Healing trauma isn't just about the mind. In fact, it's not really about the mind at all, because we are mind-body connected. We cannot divorce them or separate them, or we don't get a good result. It's about giving the body a pathway out of survival mode. When you release the tension your trauma created, your body finally stops bracing. Your nervous system softens, your sleep improves, your anxiety eases, and your capacity to feel joy and connection returns. Your body held everything you couldn't say, and it's ready to let it go. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more videos on trauma healing, nervous system regulation, and reclaiming your life after narcissistic abuse. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for following me today. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you next time.